Hi, my name is Ben, and welcome back to the British Council IELTS Tips videos. Today, we'll be talking about speaking, part 1. You've spent countless hours studying, worrying, stressing, and studying some more. But the day has finally arrived, and now you have around 11 to 14 minutes to put everything into practice. First, we'll look at speaking task part 1. We'll learn some tips to ensure that you have a great start to your speaking test. This part of the test lasts approximately 4 to 5 minutes. There are 3 sets of questions, 4 questions each, for 12 questions in total. You will be asked about familiar topics such as your home, your work, or your studies. The second and third set of questions will be random and may include topics such as the weather, hobbies, haircuts, colours, clothes, and so forth. For the most part, speaking part 1 does not require a wide range of tenses. However, you should be prepared to use the present simple, the past simple, the future, and the present perfect in order to answer the questions. You will be using everyday vocabulary here. You don't need to use a lot of academic words. The questions are quite informal, so your vocabulary should match. I sometimes see candidates use words that are just too big or too academic for this part of the speaking test. Remember, this is a test of your natural speaking ability, not a vocabulary test. Would you use these big academic words with your friends in a conversation? Probably not. A note on idioms. If you've been using them in your normal speaking practice, then by all means, use them in the speaking test. However, don't force them. The examiner can tell if you're trying too hard to use them or if they're being used naturally. Once you come in the room and sit down, the examiner will tell you everything you need to do. You don't need to worry about anything extra at this point. Typically, your answers should be between 1 and 2 sentences. Yes/no answers are not acceptable here. As a basic rule, answer the question directly and then add some extra information. For example, question: do you prefer to study alone or with others? Answer: I prefer to study alone. Direct answer: because then I can focus more and get more work done. Extended answer: the examiner can always tell if you've memorized an answer. Don't do this. In the end, it will only hurt you. The most important thing is to speak naturally. Memorized answers do not come across as natural speaking, and this will be reflected in your score. Chances are, when you first walk into the room, your heart will be racing. This is natural. As we discussed previously, controlling your emotional and physical responses can be half the battle. So, take 2 to 3 deep breaths to calm your heart rate before you begin. And finally, it should go without saying, practice, practice, practice. Find a friend and practice with them. Record yourself, or practice in front of a mirror. It doesn't matter. The important thing is you give yourself lots of practice. Sometimes candidates get so nervous, they forget to answer the question. They speak, but it has nothing to do with the topic. Don't let this be you. Listen carefully, speak naturally, and answer the questions as they come. The examiner is on a very tight schedule, and at some times during the speaking test, they may interrupt you to keep the test on pace. For many students, being stopped by the examiner may be taken as a sign that they're doing something wrong. But don't let this stop you. This isn't a comment on your speaking ability, it's just part of the test. You have no idea what questions you're going to get, but this shouldn't matter. All of the topics are related to your personal life in some way. So all you have to do is talk about your personal experiences. Sometimes, students feel like they need to give a positive or affirmative answer to everything. But this isn't the case with real life. And it isn't the case with the exam. Honesty is the best policy here. If your answer is no, then feel free to say so. And, as always, add some reasoning or examples to extend your answer. When you're taking the exam, it's easy to worry about what you've just said or what's coming up next. But it's important to live in the moment. What you've just said has already passed. What you're going to say hasn't come yet. So, just do your best to answer the questions in the here and now. If you want to upgrade your English, then please come to the British Council.